Hey, I'm Doug.
I'm Chris.
Today we're going to talk a little bit about what happened to Rand Paul the other night. I don't know why he had made the decision that he did. Let's break it down a little bit. Chris, you want to do it?
What decision were you talking about? You talking about getting across the hotel?
Yeah.
Well, they were all staying at the hotel across the street from the White House.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they went across to go to the hotel, but the Secret Service stopped them because there were already
No. Let's go before that. They come out of the White House. They seen that their hotel room was right across the street.
Yes.
They decided to go
to
a bus to the Trump Hotel.
Yeah.
Then they decided to get in a car knowing that they were...
Well, they got in an Uber trying to go back to their hotel where all their stuff was.
But they knew that there was already a mob there of about 30 people.
Well, you can get in the back of those hotels. When you got delivery, they don't have street delivery. They have some, but they also have back garages you can get to. The problem was that mob had moved while they were gone and caught them 2 blocks further from the hotel. Oh, he thought since he wasn't coming out of the White House, he'd be able to make it, just walk through the crowd.
But he's Rand Paul.
Got a mask on. Even when you see him in the video, he's got his mask on. I mean, yeah, people are going to know, but he's got his mask on.
People know who he is. I mean,
for the most part, yeah.
Even though the cop didn't know who he was.
Your basic person isn't going to know who he is because Rand Paul's not a Washington representative. He's a representative from another state. He's not one known there. They have to know they're looking for that person. And they did quick.
Yeah, they surrounded him and his wife.
And 2 other ladies.
And it got ugly. And almost took a police officer down by shoving him into Rand Paul. I wish Rand Paul wouldn't have made that decision to do that 1 block walk because it really ended up bad.
You also got to understand, this is something they do all the time. I mean, there's always a congressman.
These are not, yeah, but these
yes,
are not.
I know, but congressmen are always got somebody mad at them because they did something.
But these are not normal times.
Yeah, but if you look at what it was, for Rand Paul to be attacked by these people means the people that were attacking were, I don't know, some of the dumbest protesters on the planet. Considering the fact that they were sitting there screaming, say her name, Breonna Taylor, say her name, give him a hard time. All right, Rand Paul wrote the bill for Breonna Taylor to ban no-knock warrants. He wrote it. He is the biggest proponent they have there. He is their congressman trying to fight for what they want. And they just were threatening them, and you could hear it in the video where they were talking about beating him up and everything else. And the one was you heard him saying kill you and shit. I mean, really,
if they'd have got him on the ground, if them police wouldn't have been there, and they'd have got him and his wife on the ground, they'd been dead. Because they were chanting, "Kill him, kill him, kill him." Say her name, Breonna.
Which I find funny because he's the one that's doing all the work for them. He's doing it. He's trying to make that thing. I mean, you might have just taken away the one person that was trying to get you what you want and took it away.
It's a shame because he has been trying to fight this for them, not just them.
Anybody. He doesn't like no-knock warrants.
Yeah.
He's not a Democrat or Republican. He's a libertarian.
I just watched him on an interview on one of the news stations. Now he wants the FBI involved. Thank God somebody's got
That's a good idea.
An idea that makes sense.
Because if you listen to him on that interview, he noticed that there was different clothes, different accents, different stuff. These people weren't Washington people. They came from somewhere else.
And follow the money. I've always said follow the money. If these hotel rooms, this hotel that he was staying in, some of the protesters were staying in that hotel.
This is not a cheap hotel. This is directly across the street from the White House.
Is that where's the Watergate? The old Watergate.
No, I think the old Watergate's right down the block. I don't think it's across the street. I think it's on the block.
But if they can afford them hotel rooms, somebody's paying for it. They had airplane tickets.
Well, they're
somebody's
very, very
paying
wealthy.
for it.
One of the two. It's not. That's not. You're not saying that the Days Inn or the Howard Johnson.
Somebody's paying for it, and like Rand Paul said, if somebody's paying for it, that's illegal.
Yes.
They need to go to jail, not forever, but go to jail. You know, and I've heard different stories that the Democrats are paying for this. The Soros family is paying for this.
Soros family is just Soros and one of his younger wives, but
yeah,
I mean, he basically pays for the Democrats anyway.
So you know, if they're inciting riots by paying for transportation and stuff, something needs to be done. And I hope the FBI does get involved and do their job. Do their job.
You know what's going to be the funny part is I can already see the argument. Well, we can go there and protest for what we believe in and what we write it. And you know what that brings me back to? The only thing that just popped in my head? I remember a 17-year-old kid who went to a different state to take care of something too, and how'd that turn out?
Yeah. I hope the FBI gets involved. I really do. I think they need to. I think they need to do their investigation. And when it's finally said and done, somebody pays for it. Because these protesters, they're not rich by a long shot.
Well, if you look at they just had Senate hearings, a couple of weeks ago, and the Texas senator, what's his name? Dark-haired one's kind of I can't remember. Either way, he was trying to get them, any of the Democrats, to disavow the Black Lives Matter and the protests and everything. None of them would. The Hawaiian senator, she left because she felt that they were bringing it amiss. What was it? Not Soros, the other guy that sits there with looks like the penguin. He was, talking about how they were making it up. It was just a myth. And I'm sorry, but these people are not that stupid that they don't know. So no matter how you look at it, they know this criminal activity is going on. They've allowed this criminal activity to go on and these cities to be destroyed. They should be held responsible for that.
Yes.
Now, if you're a congressman and you didn't know, you're a shitty damn congressman. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. It's, God, I'm praying that the FBI gets involved. And
I thought you were an atheist. How are you God and praying?
I'm not an atheist.
Oh, is that the other two that are atheists?
That's the other two.
The other two are atheists. Okay.
Thank God. I hope the FBI gets involved and does their investigation, and they're not on the Democratic payroll.
To me, if just my own personal opinion, I mean, it doesn't take anybody highly intelligent to figure out that, they're being paid. Yeah, there's a bunch of money behind because all this stuff is expensive. Yes. I can go all the way back to the truckloads of bricks. I used to drive truck. I know what that kind of stuff costs. That's a different story, but didn't anybody notice that there was a pallet full of bricks? Well, that's what the police were saying. There's a pallet full of bricks there was multiple pallets of bricks being delivered, but there's no construction. So, I mean, that's a whole different story. But you got that money being paid for, and these people knowing this, and they allowed this to happen. And for me, I think that's why the Democratic Party and the people backing them, Soros, Bloomberg, are all panicking Trump might win. Because if Trump does win, he's got 4 years. The same 4 years they had to try and make up something about him. He's now got 4 years to get them in trouble for the lies they told and what they're doing right now.
Rand Paul said, if they would start locking up these protesters and interrogating them, they will find out who's behind this.
Yes. And the funny thing is, and this goes for Rand Paul's credit, even though that happened to him, and he specifically said, lock them up, not forever. Just lock them up, interrogate him, get the information.
Yes.
So even though he was about killed by him, he's still saying not forever. That's the libertarian in him.
If sitting in a jail cell, I've never been to jail, but sitting in a jail cell makes you think. what side you're on.
Now, you want to know what makes you think which side you're on? I can say this by getting hit with one of the tasers. It makes you think fast.
I've never been hit by a taser.
You don't think at that point in time because everything's... But you really think after that?
I hope the FBI does get involved because something needs to be done. Something needs to be done now.
Oh, yeah.
Rand Paul and his wife were scared shitless. Just a bad decision that they made to make it to their hotel room after getting out of that Uber.
But
he said, thank God he said he's seen the police. Thank God. He said some of the police didn't even recognize him.
Yeah, he had a mask on.
And he said...
Those people, there were people in that crowd, you could tell, and just because they knew, they caught him before the police caught him. Figuring out who he was. Those people knew what senators they were looking for and who they were looking for.
He said, they recognized me. They recognized me.
He had to tell the cop who he was to be recognized.
And...
Because he had a mask on.
He looks just like my lawyer up north. I'm telling you. It's a shame that the country's gone down this path, but it'll be straightened out in the long run. It'll be straightened out.
It'll depend on what happens in November, whether it straightens out or not. Now, don't get me wrong. I think it'll straighten out even if Biden-Harris gets in. It'll get straightened out. The problem is, I don't think you're going to like what you got when it's straightened out.
Yeah. It's a sad day in our country.
Sad months. Year.
Sad day. It's been a tough year for us. Hopefully, Trump gets back in there. And I've tried to stay away from politics on doing this.
All my life I've been an independent. I voted for Clinton. I voted for different Democrats. I like different Republicans, like different things. It was dependent on their topics. But this last year has pushed me so hard Republican. I don't even say I'm independent no more. I'm definitely Republican. There ain't nothing about the Democratic Party I'm even up for right now. Nothing they stand for even remotely seems logical.
One of my sons, I'm a Republican now.
You voted for Clinton too.
Yeah, I did.
That makes you an independent.
But I'm a Republican now. I don't care what the other side does. I'm voting Republican. Now one of my sons was having a discussion on Facebook.
Oh God.
With somebody, a friend of ours. And
are they still friends?
No.
Okay, see.
It
happens, man.
She unfriended my son. Me and my son was going somewhere yesterday, I think it was. And he said, you know what? How mad do you have to be for somebody to unfriend you? A friend to unfriend you on Facebook. You have to be really, really pissed off. And it was just a question. He asked a question that she couldn't answer because...
Oh, if you use logic and stuff,
yeah,
people get really upset.
Yes.
I mean, really, really, or you give them facts.
Yeah.
If you do logic or give them facts, they lose their damn mind.
He got unfriended, and it was funny. And
it's like, for me, you know what the biggest problem this country has, and it started growing slowly, but it is the biggest problem? Political correctness.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's just stupid.
I wish the best for Rand Paul. I hope he does get the FBI involved in this thing. I'm Doug.
I'm Chris.
If you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you want to talk about it more or something else, write it down in the narratives. We'll see you on the next one. All right?